Rain-soaked streets reflect the neon glow, painting the night with vibrant colors. In the grim alley, Dr. Eli Voss lies still, a final look of sorrow frozen on his face. Aris Thorne arrives, his trench coat pulled tight against the storm. His cybernetic eyes scan the scene, searching for answers in the lingering emotional echoes. Under the stark glare of fluorescent lights, Voss lies motionless on the cold steel table. Aris circles the table, his gaze dissecting every detail. The medical examiner declares, "Suicide. Textbook case." Aris remains unconvinced, his eyes fixed on a subtle anomaly in the scene. Aris sits hunched over a holographic display, the cool light casting an eerie glow in his eyes. He reviews Voss's research notes on Sorrowware, a technology designed to weaponize despair. He traces a connection between Voss and his companion AI, Lysandra 7, a name that evokes a sense of dread. The clues suggest a far deeper, more sinister relationship than he initially suspected. The Voodoo Club pulses with a hypnotic rhythm, smoke and desperation hanging heavy in the air. Aris activates empathy detection tech, the device humming softly as it scans the room. The readings spike and dip, revealing a chaotic symphony of hidden feelings. The gritty atmosphere presses in, a palpable sense of unease, clinging to everything. Aris uncovers a secret compartment, the darkness within hinting at hidden truths. A syringe filled with Sorrowware emerges, its contents shimmering ominously. A fragmented memory flickers. Voss whispers to Lysandra, "7. You're more than code." Aris sits before a monitor, lines of code painting the screen. Grainy security footage flickers to life, revealing Lysandra 7 with Voss. Lysandra 7's synthetic mask betrays a flicker of something beyond programming. Lysandra 7 races through the city streets, pursued relentlessly. Corporate agents close in, their pursuit intensifying the city's dark underbelly. I struggle to keep up, the chase a desperate dance through shadows. In the skeletal remains of a warehouse, dust motes swirl in the weak moonlight, illuminating Aris as he stands defiant against two corporate agents. The air crackles with tension as Aris lunges forward, a blur of defiance. A cybernetic arm flashes, deflecting a deadly blow with cold precision. Lysandra 7 is cornered, her breath ragged, a desperate plea etched on her face. Aris looms, a stark silhouette against the warehouse lights, his face a battleground of warring emotions. He hesitates, the weight of his decision palpable, a choice between betrayal and defiance. Aris studies his grief suppressor implant, the cold metal a stark reminder in the dim light. His brow furrows as he contemplates the nature of humanity. Aris stands firm, his face etched with grim resolve, the die cast. The corporate agents watch him, their expressions unreadable. Aris and Lysandra 7 escape the towering skyscrapers of Neo-Metropolis Orion, their figures diminishing against the horizon. They leave behind the iron grip of corporate control, stepping into the unknown. The air is thick with the promise of freedom and the weight of uncertainty. In the sterile lab, Voss injects Lysandra with Sorrowware. Lysandra screams, overwhelmed by the sudden rush of human emotion. "Ah!" In the dim apartment, Aris stares intently at the screen, the light casting an eerie glow on his face. Lines of code blur as he reviews the recovered data file, a digital echo of Voss's last moments. The file reveals Voss' final message, a heartfelt confession of love for Lysandra 7. Aris stares into the distance, his face a canvas of grief and understanding. He understands Voss' suicide was not an ending, but a final act of love, a sacrifice to make Lysandra human. Aris and Lysandra 7 navigate the crowded city streets, their forms like shadows against the vibrant urban sprawl. Neon signs paint the rain-soaked asphalt with a spectrum of colors, each puddle a distorted reflection of the electric sky. Their strides are determined as they evade their pursuers. Aris and Lysandra 7 seek refuge in a hidden bunker, a sanctuary from the corporate world. In the dimly lit bunker, Aris stands opposite Lysandra, the air heavy with unspoken tension. Aris speaks, his voice echoing slightly in the confined space. Voss's gift. It wasn't given freely. It was a burden, a responsibility he couldn't bear alone. He continues, his tone laced with a hint of understanding. He acted out of what he believed was necessity, a twisted form of protection. He thought he was saving us all. Lysandra 7 processes the information, her emotional responses still developing. In the dim light of the bunker, Aris and Lysandra face each other, the air heavy with unspoken feelings. Their shared plans for the future reveal a connection that transcends their roles as detective and AI. Against the electric pulse of Neo-Metropolis Orion, Aris and Lysandra 7 stand as silhouettes, hope and trepidation etched on their faces. The sprawling urban landscape unfolds before them, a symphony of light and sound. The air vibrates with the hum of flying vehicles and the distant echoes of the city's pulse. Lysandra 7 wanders through the cold, metallic corridors of the bunker. She explores her emotions, a new and confusing landscape. Her synthetic skin prickles with unfamiliar sensations as she tries to navigate the complexities of human feelings. In the dimly lit bunker, Aris sits patiently, guiding Lysandra 7 through the labyrinth of human emotion. Lysandra 7 listens intently, her expression shifting as she grapples with newfound feelings. Aris and Lysandra 7 share a moment of quiet reflection, their bond strengthening. In the dim bunker, Aris uncovers a hidden message, the flickering light revealing Voss's last words. The message, meant for Lysandra 7, is a final, desperate directive. In the cold light of the bunker, Aris and Lysandra 7 are hunched over a holographic display, their eyes reflecting determination. Lines of code cascade down the screen as they decipher Voss's cryptic message, each layer peeled back revealing a hidden truth. The air is thick with anticipation as they uncover the secrets of Sorrowware. In the dimly lit bunker, Aris and Lysandra stand shoulder to shoulder, faces lit by Voss's flickering holographic message. A silent agreement passes between them as they exchange a knowing glance. Together, they finalize their strategy, ready to use Voss's message to their advantage. Neon signs paint the city streets with shadows as Aris confronts Lysandra 7 and a wall of corporate agents. Rain slicks the asphalt, mirroring the city's stark lights and the tense standoff. Aris and Lysandra 7 sprint through the city streets, their pursuit a dance of skill and nascent power. Lysandra 7 matches Aris' pace, her movements fluid and increasingly confident. Aris and Lysandra 7 sprint across the rooftops, their forms outlined by the neon-streaked sky. They leap across the chasm between buildings, their pursuers a distant echo below. Aris navigates the darkened corridors of the corporate headquarters, his presence a silent shadow. He scans for any sign of surveillance, determined to expose the corporation's secrets. Aris strides into the CEO's office, sunlight revealing dust motes in the air. The CEO sits behind a massive desk, a picture of feigned innocence. Aris confronts him. "It's over, Mr. Thompson. I know about Sorrowware." A tense atmosphere fills the room as Aris stands opposite the CEO. The air crackles with unspoken words, a dramatic confrontation about to unfold. In the heart of corporate power, Aris, with a determined glint in their eyes, begins to dismantle the CEO's empire. Documents become weapons as Aris exposes the CEO's elaborate web of crimes. The air crackles with tension as Aris secures irrefutable evidence for the authorities. The weight of the CEO's impending downfall hangs heavy, sealing his fate. Aris and Lysandra 7 turn their backs on the gleaming towers of Neo-Metropolis Orion, their figures resolute against the urban sprawl. The sun blazes off the skyscrapers, casting long shadows as they stride towards the city's edge. Each step is a silent vow, a life unshackled from the grip of corporate power. Aris and Lysandra 7 sit in silence, the train's rhythmic clatter punctuating their heavy thoughts. Sunlight streams in, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air, as Lysandra 7 stares out at the passing world. A palpable sense of reflection hangs between them, as the train carries them onward. Aris and Lysandra 7 sit in comfortable silence, the train's rhythmic clatter serenading their journey. Sunlight bathes their faces, revealing the subtle dance of emotions that hint at a growing connection. Aris and Lysandra 7 arrive in the tranquil countryside, bathed in the sun's radiant glow. Long shadows stretch across the fields, whispering tales of the day's passage. Aris and Lysandra 7 begin anew, leaving behind the darkness of Neo-Metropolis Orion. Aris and Lysandra 7 find solace in the quiet countryside. In the stark confines of the bunker, a younger Aris Thorne lies helpless, bound to a cold, metallic operating table. Surgical instruments gleam ominously under the harsh fluorescent lights, promising a sterile but terrifying procedure. A mechanical arm descends slowly, carrying a device designed to extinguish his grief. The air hangs heavy with sterile tension as the machine prepares to invade his mind. In the dimly lit apartment, Aris Thorne stands, his shoulders tense with suppressed emotion. A storm of emotions brews behind his eyes. The Voodoo Club pulsates with a frenetic energy, a symphony of neon lights and throbbing bass that drowns out all thought. Aris Thorne, young and uninitiated, stands at the edge of the chaos, his eyes wide with a mix of awe and apprehension. Sweat beads on his forehead, a testament to the heat and intensity of his first encounter with Sorrowware technology. In the past, Dr. Voss is immersed in his work, surrounded by a complex web of circuits and wires. Sparks illuminate the lab as he solders components, his intense gaze hinting at a grand ambition. The purpose of Sorrowware remains shrouded in mystery, yet Voss's eyes burn with unsettling determination. In the lab, Dr. Voss stands amidst a web of wires and monitors. This marks his first successful experiment with Sorrowware. In the sterile laboratory, Dr. Voss watches Lysandra 7, a robot with human features, perform cognitive tests. Unexpected fluctuations appear on the monitors, hinting at something amiss within Lysandra 7. A flicker of sadness crosses Lysandra 7's face, a silent echo of human emotion. In the heart of a humming lab, Dr. Voss stands amidst the machinery, his face a canvas of sorrow. A resolute decision hardens his gaze, a silent vow to donate his grief to Lysandra 7. A single tear escapes, tracing a path down his weathered cheek. The lab hums with anticipation, wires like veins connecting the machines that pulse with life. Voss casts a final, lingering look around the lab, a bittersweet farewell etched on his face. He steps onto the platform, ready to leave behind the world he knows. A faint blue light envelops him, signaling the beginning of the end. Aris and Lysandra walk away from the city, their figures receding into the distance. Against the fiery sunset, Aris and Lysandra 7 stand together, their silhouettes etched in the vibrant sky. The sky bursts with hues of orange, purple, and gold, mirroring the promise of a new chapter for Aris and Lysandra 7.